The Light of Truth Universal Shrine, or LOTUS, is a unique structure in many ways. It's a shrine where all the religions of the world are equally honored. Anyone can enter and feel that this is their spiritual home. In its petals, there are altars for every faith known to humankind. Hinduism, Judaism, Shinto, Taoism, Buddhism, Christianity, Islam, Sikhism, Native American faiths, African faiths, and an altar for all other known faiths. There is also an altar for all unknown faiths and those yet to come. The shrine is designed in the shape of a lotus flower, which rises above the water to open to the light of the sun. This flower symbolizes the spiritual unfoldment of the soul. The Reverend Sri Swami Satchidananda is the founder of Lotus and of Yogaville. In early 1980, he spoke about the purpose of the Lotus.
It is the function of the religion to educate everybody of their spiritual oneness. But unfortunately, what's happening nowadays, the very same religion that is supposed to bring humanity together is dividing them. And that is the reason why the Project Lotus is so very important. Because through this, we are trying to educate people that we are all one in spirit. All the religions talk about the same truth. Of course, this idea started somewhere in the year 1953, when I was in Sri Lanka, then known as Ceylon. Once we were about to celebrate the Guru Purnima, the full moon day dedicated to the worship of one's own spiritual preceptor. But just a couple of days before the celebration, an idea came. Instead of just worshipping only our Guru, why not we bring the images of all the various spiritual teachers, various gurus of various religions, put them all on the altar, and let us all unitedly worship that day. And that's how we did, and we call that All Saints' Day. Since then, almost every year, we were doing that. But then again, after coming into this country, during one of the retreats, 10-day retreats, where many of the clergymen were present to give their talks, an idea came. Instead of simply talking, why not we do something to tell people that we not only talk together, we can do something together. That gave room for this ecumenical service. We call it YES, YES, Yoga Ecumenical Service. Immediately, a beautiful altar was set up. Right in the middle, a huge candle was lit to represent the cosmic light that is accepted by all the various religions. And then all the various clergymen sat around and they offered their service to that one light according to their own tradition. It was a beautiful day. And again, that became a sort of annual occasion for us. Then again, the idea expanded. We thought, instead of once a year coming together and having such celebration, why not we have a permanent place where we can have shrines for all the various religions under one dome to set up an example, a visual example that there's only one truth expressing as many paths. That's how the idea of lotus came. In this structure, you will see that the lotus will have one central light beaming up slowly to the roof and then splitting into various rays, and each ray will fall on one chapel. It will have chapels for all the various religions, and one or two places will be dedicated for even the known and unknown religions. That way we can show that there is only one truth approached as many. Whoever goes in would feel that harmonious vibration. It will be a place for contemplation, silent meditation. It will be a place to get healed of all the physical and mental problems. There won't be much of a ritualistic practices, but there will be more of silent meditation.
Several architects developed early plans for the lotus, including Sudarshan Anderson, Vishwanath Watson, Steve Au, and Asangan Binstock. They worked directly with Sri Gurudev, translating his vision and the spiritual meaning of the shrine into working architectural drawings. A site in California, and later one in Connecticut, were chosen for the lotus, but then various obstacles made them unusable. Satchidananda Ashram moved to Buckingham, Virginia in the fall of 1979. Even though the final architect wasn't chosen, and he didn't have the money to pursue the project, Swami Satchidananda began to build the lotus seemingly on faith alone. The first step was the digging of the Lotus Lake. The groundbreaking ceremony was April 30th, 1980.
The machines are working. It's almost about 10 acres.
The site for the lotus was nestled into a beautiful valley right alongside the James River. The first problem to be overcome was the site was on a floodplain. Every few years, the shrine risked to be under 8 feet of water when it flooded. So the elevation of the plain needed to be raised. This created a second problem: where to get the earth to raise the ground level. Sri Gurudev had always envisioned the shrine floating in a lake as a lotus flower would, so he began to dig a 9-acre lake around the shrine. The earth from the lake was transported to build up the elevation around the site of the shrine. While the lake was being dug, the planning stage continued. The search for an architect ended when James Jagadish McCabe offered his services. The plans for the Lotus Shrine were refined and developed until they took on their final form. When the lake excavation was done, the site work began for the foundation of the shrine. The W.D. Crump Construction Company of Farmville, Virginia, was hired to do most of the early site work. Sri Gurudev enjoyed working with the heavy equipment and picked up a few tips on using the backhoe from Billy Crump. The foundation pouring for the Lotus was on the 1st of July, 1980. Students and friends of Sri Gurudev joined with eminent spiritual leaders from around the world to celebrate the joyful event. The site was ready for the ground floor of the meditation chamber, and a gem box was about to be poured. At the stroke of noon, Sri Gurudev began the pouring of the foundation. He placed the first gem in the gem box at the base of the shrine, and the celebrants joined him. People from all over the world offered items to be placed in the gem box. They sent holy water, gems, and earth from pilgrimage places of every religion, making the lotus universal from the very beginning. The gem box was filled with the vibrations of all the holy places from which people collected the offerings, and also with the love of the people who sent them. There were gems and earth from so many places, as distant as China, Jerusalem, India, Mecca, and Africa. There was even a rare tactite rock from the moon. The ceremony itself was a unique blend of the sacred and the everyday world. There were beautiful prayers from all of the faiths, and then a cement truck rolled in and they poured the foundation. It was truly a blessing for all of the construction that followed.